everybody, Bro Squad here, and welcome back to episode 3 of BSN. Man, it's come a long way. After 2 full episodes, we now made it to episode 3. Thank you all. Thank you. Okay, so... good news, I fixed my eraser. It was really broken. I don't know how, but I just fidgeted with it even more, and I fixed it. I don't know how, but it fixed, so I'm happy. And yeah, so what we will be talking about today is books and TV. Let's start off with the joke of the day, which is my favorite segment. What lights up a soccer stadium? I never heard this one personally. What lights up a soccer stadium? A soccer match. Get it like a whoosh, that kind of match. It honestly took me a while to think. I was like, a soccer match doesn't make any sense, and I was like really thinking. I was like, oh, because it's a match. After I figured it out, it was really funny. More corny jokes on Thursday. I think is when we do it again. On episode 4. Ooh, on Thursday. Stay tuned. Yes, so you're welcome for the joke of the day. If you want to tell your dad, if you have a dad, that works. Believe it or not, today's National Vinegar Day. Which, I've never been a fan of vinegar. I guess I have never really tasted it. But I did smell it, and it is honestly really disgusting. But there's something about my 8th grade science class. It could just be my 8th grade science teacher. But bro, every single project that we had, vinegar was involved. And you could walk into the room and be like, it's one of those experiment days. With proper vinegar. Yeah. Vinegar is very interesting. I don't know, man. I don't really have much opinions about vinegar other than it smells a little weird. I kind of got used to it, but it's like salty almost. I don't know how to explain it. Go about yourself. That sounds weird. The death of the day. His name is Rossano Rupicondi, and I'm really sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but he was an actor. Some of the movies he's been in is Christmas in Beverly Hills, The Golden Bowl, Head Full of Honey, and O Decimo Oitavo Anjo. I'm sorry if I mispronounced those. I probably did, but hopefully it wasn't necessarily butchered. Those are some of the movies he's played in. If you know any of them, yeah, that's who he was. 20 seconds of silence. Okay, it's been about 20 seconds. I know I just shot it last second, but there's a certain schedule that I have on timing and whatnot. Because I have to keep video under 15 minutes, and this is how I do it. So I'm sorry I pushed it at the last second, but it got there. I don't know, really. I don't know his movies or anything, but I'm sure he was a good guy. He seemed alright. I don't know him, so I don't want to assume anything. The poem of the day is, sometimes the short poems are the hardest to write. Change one word and the whole poem avocates, by Atticus. You know, I'm not a poetic type of person, but I think he was just saying that short poems are hard to do because you're briefly summing it up, and if you use the wrong word, then you just butcher the whole poem. That's what my take is on it. I don't I don't really know. Okay. So what we're talking about, books and TV. The first one we're talking about books. So when you go to my school, you'll have this thing by library, and they give out free books you can take and read and whatnot. And I don't know if you have to return it or not. I don't know. But you can take these free books. And honestly, for some reason, no one really takes a lot of those books, and I just have a feeling it's just because of society. But I don't want to talk about society. I want to talk about just books itself. I don't want to sound like gruesome or anything, but honestly, I think my favorite book would have to be Lord of the Flies. I mean, I don't read a lot of books, so the variety's not that big, but Lord of the Flies was honestly my favorite one. And my brother's actually doing a project over it for school. And I mean, I'm trying not to spoil, because it is honestly a good book. And if you have not read it, your parents probably have, and they probably love it too. Or at least your dad will. I know, like, a lot of people, they have parents, and those parents are like, oh my gosh, my favorite book. It's my favorite book, probably for the same reasons. I mean, it's actually interesting. Like, they're abandoned on an island. There's like a cool military person kind of thing. They started their own government system, and it kind of just briefly summarizes how it's messed up. It's honestly really cool, and it's actually really aggressive and stuff. That's kind of why, out of all the Shakespearean plays that he's wrote, Macbeth is also my favorite, just because of all the action that there is. And I do love the Scottish history. I don't know why, probably because my ancestors are Scottish, but I do love a good old Scottish history. It was aggressive, and it still kind of is, just not as much as it used to be. But books actually impact your life so much, as a matter of fact, that there are books back in the day, whether it was fiction or non-fiction, that the problems still apply to today, which is why we still teach it. Not we, I'm a student. That's why teachers still teach these things to you, is because books are just so important in your young life, because they just briefly, and like, if a book were to do all the world's problems at once, it would be like a never-ending book, and you can quote me on that. I feel like that's very wise of me to say. But books, they just highly impact your life and everything that you do. And I just highly recommend that, like, if you're a parent, let your kids read books. I mean, it's so healthy. Helps them read faster, helps them be better in the English language, which not a lot of people are. Which is their native tongue, but books are very, very important to have in your life, and it's really, really good if you read it. Even if it's just one book to read over and over again, it's still better than not reading any books after elementary school, which I would be on that road if I hadn't read books in elementary school and enjoyed them, honestly. There's very good stories out there if you just read them. The second thing I want to talk about is TV itself. So I don't know if you guys remember, I think when I was born, there was no such thing as a flat screen TV. I'm pretty sure, unless there was and it was really rare to get. But now, all I'm seeing for sale are flat screen TVs, and it's super weird. And the old TVs that you would have would be like a really like thick square box, and that was basically it. It was like screen. So it was like, this is TV, sideways screen, and it's like, and on the film, and it was like really thick, and like every time you turn it on, it made that like weird ringing sound, like, and it would go up in your ears. If you hear it enough, you just stop hearing it. So that's how TVs used to be now, and they're all practically flat screen TVs. I mean, even the computers they're selling are like flat screen, bro. The computers that I grew up with were like thick computers, you know. As a matter of fact, computers back then in NASA were actually people. They were called computers because they did all the mathematics. They did all the scientific studies and all whatnot. So they were actually called computers. I can't remember if they're called computers or calculators. It's one or the other. So yeah, very, very important that TV's just a fun history fact for you. But the point I'm trying to get at is that TVs, I don't want to be like that one person who's just like, oh yeah, TVs rot your brain. But, I mean, it's not always good for you. No, it's alright to watch it and whatnot, like just educational stuff. And like, if you're just in a bad mood, you want to cheer up, you just pull up a good TV movie or a TV show, and you just watch it, man. You just watch it to your heart's content. And, I mean, it's just so very, very, like, very good in your lifetime that you live for briefly. TV, I mean, it's a good love and hate relationship. But overall, studies have shown if you spend more time reading books, less time watching TV, you're a more productive person, you're more outgoing. I mean, your grades are usually better because you know to try harder. And your IQ actually rises. I don't want to flex on my IQ, but my IQ is higher than the average, and I don't read much books. But it's just an overall kind of thing, not just like every single person, you know. There's you know, there's other things out there. That'll be all for today, guys. I'll see you guys on the next BSN episode on Thursday. But tomorrow, it might just be a Minecraft episode. It all depends if I'm busy or not. There usually will be, but I'm just saying if there's not, then you know why I'm busy. Because I get a life too. So anyways, you guys, that'll be all for today's BSN episode 3. Yeah, episode 3. See you guys in the next one. Roll Squad. Out.